All right, everybody, we're back with another episode of Manto Capital, the show in DC where we talk about local news, national news, anything that's going on, mostly with business, investing, real estate, just trying to stay on top of the trends. Hopefully, we'll have other people on the show at some point talking about different topics, but for now, it's just me. But I like it this way because we're talking about the stuff that I think is important news-wise, and we're going to start with local news today. So one thing I wanted to talk about in terms of DC and downtown DC, so obviously, like other cities, DC's been struggling with falling property valuations. So you've seen buildings that used to be worth 60, 70 million, now being worth 20, 30 million, which is crazy, but it just speaks to the pandemic. People were able to work from home. The world didn't, crash. Technology getting better. Again, you can Zoom and Excel from home. A lot of companies would still rather have people come in person. So that's not going away, but the demand for office space is just less. And the high cost of living in cities is still a deterrent, for people who might, be able to better afford living in the suburbs. Still a lot of benefits in my perspective living in a city. So anyhow, so that's the general trends, obviously, that we've been seeing across the U.S., across the world, really, with remote work and technology. And then AI is what I was going to say is the last thing. Obviously, that's on the tip of everybody's tongue, the fact that OpenAI, Google, whether for writing or creating videos or coding, it's just become much easier to do. And kids these days are turning in assignments and essays with stuff written by AI, and it's gotten good enough where now teachers have to use AI to see whether it was AI created. So the world is screwed in that way, but we're just going to keep on going. Again, I think that cities are amazing. They're a testament to human civilization. So they'll still be around even if the property values were reassessed pretty harshly. But there's no telling what will rebound more or less other than knowing that a property is good. It's well situated. It's got good retail amenities around, entertainment. And that brings me to my first topic after 3 minutes. I've got a few topics that I want to talk about today, but the Chinatown revitalization in DC. So Chinatown is part of downtown DC. It's host to the Capital One Arena, the basketball, hockey arena. When big artists, music artists come to town, they're trying to play Capital One Arena. So obviously that's one of the main draws of Chinatown. There's also good retail and stuff, but it's been pretty run down for the last however long, and it's not the best of areas. And yeah, a lot of offices, aren't as desirable. Retail wasn't as desirable, but with the new money coming into Capital One Arena, $800 million, actually, from Monumental Sports Group. They're going to they've already redone a decent amount inside the stadium. To me, they could do a little bit more. But they're also going to redo the whole facade. They're going to make it more enticing for people to come to games and events. And the city is putting more money into revitalizing the area around it. So they're actually going to turn one of the main roads into pedestrian only, which is better for people coming to, stay at a hotel, go to a show, be around the downtown DC area, which has a lot more to offer. So Chinatown revitalization is a big deal in DC. So we'll see, how that uplifts the area and just property values and the amount of people coming into DC for games and concerts and going out to bars and whatnot. So that's my first topic of today. Next, I want to do another local story. and then I'm going to get into some national news. I'm a little bit lacking on energy now. I came in wanted to talk, but we'll see how much longer I talk. So the next story I wanted to cover is local in DC, and one thing that I think upon working in DC, so now learning what's going on, working for a property developer. So I'm thinking about the buildings themselves, who owns them, what areas in the city, are for what, where the bars are, obviously. I know Northern Virginia pretty well, but I've come to DC throughout my life for concerts and games and whatnot, but I haven't really walked the streets and knew the areas as much as I do now. So one thing that comes with less people coming to work, more people working from home, and just the general, trying to figure out what to do with all the space here is retail. You walk around the city and there's good retail. It's a good city, DC. It's not, we've got stuff going on. We're not, I don't want to throw any cities under the bus, but, we're not Portland or whatever that, all the building valuations have fallen by such massive amounts, but there's still a lot of vacant retail is all I'm trying to say in DC. And it's like buildings. Not all of them will survive. Maybe some will turn into residential. Maybe they'll be used for, other purposes. Maybe the whole building will, turn into residential. So there won't even be any retail spots like that at some point. But there's still plenty of retail, and the good ones will survive and they will do well. One I wanted to talk about in particular is this place that just opened up a few months ago around the corner from my building here, again in downtown DC on L Street. This one's on where the corner of L and 19th. This one's on 19th Street. The place is called Just Salad, and they do more than just salad. They also do smoothies, but Just is also a play on that it's healthy and well sourced. I guess it's just, but they have been doing a great job. There's been lines out the door not out the door, but it's been crowded ever since it's opened. And I've tried their salad, I've tried their smoothies, and it's pretty good. I prefer it to chopped or sweet green, or other places like that where you can get a salad. I'd prefer it to Chipotle. I need to do more research to see if it's a chain, if it's been in other cities, if there's multiple in DC, or whether this is their first one. But they've got it down pretty good. Their business model, it's clean. The stuff is healthy and good, reasonably priced. It's still $13 for a salad, but I think that that's a price that people are willing to pay around here, and it's less than 16, I suppose, and it's better than sweet green or chopped or kava. That's the other one I didn't mention. So Just Salad, open some more places around here because you're doing pretty good already at the place around the street from me. So Just Salad, doing good with the retail in downtown DC in the Central Business District. All right, next 4 topics. I'm just going to go through quickly just to have evidence that I talked about them and that I could talk about them for further if I wanted to. But I'm already at 9 minutes, and I'm just trying to do another episode today, and I'm doing video as well as audio, and I got my headphones on. I don't necessarily need them, but I definitely look better without the headphones on. Let's just keep them off for the time being. 4 stories. First of all, Warner Bros. They are telling their shareholders to deny the Paramount bid, which was $108 billion, which is higher than Netflix's 80 or so billion. And this is the difference of $27 a share and $30 a share. Paramount is expected to up their offer, is the latest news, by 10%, so they might offer $33 a share. I take big, I don't like the fact that Paramount might buy Warner Bros. I don't like the funding sources. I don't like Netflix either, but I prefer it. The biggest thing with Netflix is that it'll probably take movies straight to Netflix, the service, because that would be more in their interest. But they could still, be doing stuff in theaters, like they've said. But yeah, so that's the whole thing. Just want to give the latest update on that. Another piece of more national news. This is more political, geopolitical. But Trump is pursuing an oil blockade of Venezuela, which apparently nationalized U.S. assets and also has been selling to China at a discount their oil. So basically the leader of Venezuela at the moment, Nicolas Maduro, is a strongman who isn't playing ball with the U.S. So it's crazy that, Trump says we've got Venezuela surrounded and, is trying to take back the U.S. assets that Maduro nationalized and is trying to cut off the oil for Venezuela to export it, such as to China that they've been doing at a discount. So you've heard lately that we've been taking more, as a country, more action against Venezuela. Will be interesting to see how that escalates, but it's a pretty big deal because Venezuela is very dependent on their oil exports. So that would be pretty crippling to their economy. So I heard in a podcast this morning from the Wall Street Journal. But two more topics to get through real quick. California is going after Tesla with, in my opinion, little merit. California gave Tesla 90 days to change their branding. California says that Tesla's been branding as self-driving and autonomous, and that it's not, so that's false advertising. If you've ever been in a Tesla or a Tesla Uber, they're pretty self-driving is the thing. I swear, dude, the other day when I was in the Uber, hardly touched the steering wheel and got us there very safe. So anyways, Tesla responded in saying that they haven't heard anybody buy the car and say that it really wasn't that self-driving or autonomous. And it's more state and federal regulations that aren't allowing companies to be more self-driving. They're doing all the tests still. You've heard the millions of miles that Waymo or Tesla have driven now. But yeah, so California is giving it 90 days to change their advertising, or else they're going to limit the sales or whatever that the California DMV can enact. But I just don't see how that's, that's been a thing for a while. But if I don't see it as false advertising, because they're pretty self-driving, and if it wasn't self-driving, then people could, I don't know, make a complaint, file a class action lawsuit, sell their Teslas. But I think that the customer satisfaction is pretty high because those cars are great. So I just don't see the merit of California DMV going after Tesla for this to change their advertising from self-driving. They're pretty self-driving, or they will be soon. So, and Teslas operate on software updates. So it's not like you need to buy a whole new Tesla to be able to get those benefits that are already available now or will be soon. Last topic for today's Manto Capital episode for December 17th. We got Christmas coming up. I'm doing this more often. Again, I'm trying to have people come in so I can talk to them, but I'm also trying to give you the news. So maybe more episodes soon will be interviews, but I also think that this is just beneficial for somebody to listen to stay abreast of the news in DC and also national, with a focus on business, real estate, investing, blah, blah, blah. Media is stuff that I like as well. Run a podcast studio here. So last story is Disney and OpenAI. So I don't know if you saw this, but Disney is investing $1 billion into OpenAI. And they're also allowing OpenAI to use, I think it's like 200 characters, fictional characters, like animated, in their Sora 2 video AI creation models. So think of Buzz Lightyear or, The Little Mermaid, or fictional IP, intellectual property that Disney has. So not real people, but they're allowing you to now, which they haven't been allowed to, but Disney said they made a deal with OpenAI saying that now you can use characters like Buzz Lightyear in a AI generated prompt from a Sora user. Again, the video creation, using Buzz Lightyear to go do whatever you might have Buzz Lightyear do in the video. And they're also saying that they might want to put some of the best AI created videos on Disney Plus at some point. They're basically, the rationale is that they're accepting that AI generated content will be a thing in the coming years, and they want to stay on top of it, and they want to have people create new things with their copyrighted material, their intellectual properties. So interesting. We're so many topics and conversations about AI these days, and whether it's good or bad, but the end of the day is that it's happening, and companies such as Disney and Bob Iger are making these deals with groups like OpenAI, and they didn't do it with Google, so they did it with OpenAI. So we'll see maybe some Buzz Lightyear content or otherwise in the near future with some pretty crazy AI videos, I would think. This was allowed at the beginning, and then Disney and other copyright holders said, OpenAI, like, this needs to be an opt-in, not opt-out. So that was a good thing, but now they're coming back to Sam Altman and saying, hey, we're going to invest and you can use our stuff. That's the news. So anyhow, thanks for joining for this longest episode yet of my next go at it for Manto Capital. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and hope to have you tune in the future. And if you want to talk about stuff, come into the studio or do it remote. Let me know. We can talk about whatever business topic, or current events that might be of interest to talk about on this show. So appreciate you listening. Have a great day.